Most of us end up choosing a career or a course thinking that it will change us for good, it will give you security, it will pay off your bills, everything. But later down the line, once you start working, then you realize, oh, this is not really for me. You start asking questions like, was it really worth it? And what am I even doing here? You start feeling anxious and start wondering, why am I wasting my time on this unknown path or the wrong path? And that sense of regret creeps in, forcing you to think that you might be stuck in this for years. If you don't take action now, then it would be very difficult to change later. And that's exactly when you need to rethink your career path. And if you want to make the career switch, now is the right time, because that's exactly where you want to make a career switch before it's too late and before you end up regretting forever. So hey, I'm Tanmay, a full-time data analyst and a part-time YouTuber living in Ireland since 3 years. I recently had an in-depth conversation with one of my friends, Sanjana, who was a mechanical engineer graduate who went from mechanical engineer to computer science degree in US, and now she works in Red Hat as a software reliability engineer. We discussed the steps she took and how you can also implement those similar steps to either get a job or make a career transition for yourself. So we had a 1 hour long podcast about her steps and discussed what one can do to go from point A to point B to transition from their career or make a complete career switch like herself. Now there is a whole 1 hour long conversation on the channel, but in this video I'm breaking down that conversation into 6 actionable steps. So if you fancy that, watch this one and let's get started with the first pointer. How to enter a college in US with a varied academic history. How did you leverage yourself to get into like a good university?
Because of course, like you said, they prefer students who already have some computer science background. But there's this statement of purpose that you have to submit when you're applying to US universities. I'm not sure about other countries, but in that you have to write why you want to join their university and what makes you like a good fit. um, so I wrote things like I am already learning like Python, Java. I'm already doing projects in related to computer science. I'm already learning, and I think that helped. Um, so, and I also like did a project during my last year of bachelor's degree, where it was something like you know, we were doing a project that had both mechanical and software systems. So I wrote that as well, and so yeah, I was just showing that I'm already doing things to succeed.
So that's a pretty solid point. When we are filing the application, we need to write an SOP. So if you mention and showcase yourself in the SOPs, that genuineness and the actual eagerness to study in their university, to study a particular course, irrespective of your background. Basically, you have to convince the university that you are an asset and not a liability. And that's how you can stand out from the crowd and you can get that application accepted in the university. On to the second step, which is once you graduate, how to do the job hunting and what is the reality.
So I was looking for a job for more than a year. I graduated in May 2023, but I started looking for a job in November, I think October of 2022, uh, which was almost 7, 8 months before I graduated. Um, but I didn't like. Firstly, मेरा mechanical engineering background, no work experience, and so I didn't get a lot of interviews. But like I was even after graduation, it took me 7, 8 months to land a full time role. Uh, so I was doing some, of course, some visa pe hote ho, so it's a little difficult. But I was doing some unpaid internships. So for the first year that you are in after your graduation, you can work unpaid or part time, US में. Um, so I did that for 7 months, and eventually I started getting interviews. I interviewed at Red Hat, and then yeah, got the offer. But yeah, the situation was really bad. I think I'm not sure about it right now how it's going, but उस time बहुत खराब था job market. People were getting laid off. Um, there weren't a lot of jobs, especially मतलब new grads के लिए उतना नहीं था उस time. Um, but yeah, like I was applying every day. I was changing my resume, seeing, trying everything, seeing like क्या work कर रहा है, क्या नहीं work कर रहा है, ऐसे सब देख के yeah, eventually interviews आ रहे थे फिर बाद में तो yeah, that's how it happened.
See, I agree it's not easy to get into US market and then find a job right away. It is difficult. There are few outliers, but on average it is very difficult. So the competitive edge you will have is start early and start very seriously. We will be discussing the steps in the later on in the video, but whatever we have covered until now, the reality, like it took me 7 months because I started in November. It's fine that I got a job before graduation, but what you need to look at is I started in November, which is like 6-7 months of continuous rejections, applications, and networking events and all that. So it does take time, but you don't have to lose your heart. Be confident in yourself, because see, getting a job is like, if you're putting 100%, then your inputs are done. You can't expect something which is an output oriented goal. Most of the part is in our hand to prepare well, to write a resume well, to connect and all that. If you have done that already and you're confident that you have put in your 100% efforts, then don't blame yourself. Just keep moving on, keep applying, because in the end we only need one yes. And how to get that we'll cover in the step 3, which is do's and don'ts to remember while making the job application. What did you observe कि ये चीज़ चल रही है and ये चीज़ नहीं चल रही है?
This was actually a friend's suggestion. So what we were doing was we were changing our resume for every job application. So अगर लोग क्या करते हैं, लोग मतलब दिन में 50-60 applications कर देंगे, but that's of no use if you're using the same resume everywhere, because you want your resume to match the job description, and that's how you get your resume will get selected, right? So just tailoring your resume according to the job description. What I was doing was I was finding keywords, putting it somewhere in my resume. Like job description mein likha hota hai na, like what we are looking for, create a summary of myself, how I have the skills that they are looking for, and I would add like a small summary on top of my resume, 2 lines, 3 lines ka, with those keywords. So that's how it was passing through the ATS, which is basically used to pick resumes. um, so yeah, that's what I was doing. I was focusing on like 10 applications, but with tailored resume, instead of like 100 applications a day. So I think that is something that really helped. Because अगर मतलब तुम एक ही resume सब जगह use कर रहे हो, तो you don't have all the skills that are mentioned in the job description, right? So how will it get selected? It's going in trash. तो मैंने भी वैसे ही किया था, but I was just like जो जो टेक्नोलॉजीज फॉर एग्जांपल जो उन्होंने मेंशन किए जॉब डिस्क्रिप्शन में, आई वुड ऐड दोज इन माय रेज्यूमे, एंड थोड़ा बहुत जो उनकी डिस्क्रिप्शन में लिखा रहता है वो कीवर्ड्स लेके आई वुड ऐड दोज एज वेल.
Man, that is really a solid advice. I know, like, I talk about quantity over quality, but you need to find that balance between the quantity and the quality. क्योंकि ये नहीं होना चाहिए that you're making application as a data analyst and then you're writing there the software engineering experience. It is completely irrelevant to the job you are applying for. And most of the companies these days are using the ATS system, which needs to have a keyword and everything. So if you might have observed that you made the application in the evening and in the morning itself you got rejected, then it's probably because you got rejected through the ATS system. So to avoid that, at least to get in the interview stage, you need to make your resume ATS friendly, and that is why it is very important to look at the job description and then match your experience according to that. So basically tailoring your CV. The best thing what you can do is copy 3-4 job descriptions from the LinkedIn and then paste it on ChatGPT, and then give ChatGPT the relevant experience which you had in that job title, and ask him to curate a ATS matching or a keyword matching resume. Also submit your own resume asking him that does it match with the job description and can I apply, or do you want me to make any changes, and that will give you a solid understanding. Just make those changes and then apply. Make sure to tailor your CV. I don't want to touch base a lot on this point, so let's move on to the next point, which is referrals. Step 4, how to ask for referrals in the right way. What is the right way of asking referrals?
So what I used to do was for reference, मैं फॉर सपोज एक कंपनी में जॉब खुला है, जैसे माइक्रोसॉफ्ट हो गया, तो वट मैं आज मैंने देखा कि रोल खुला है, वट आई वुड डू वाज आई वुड गो टू द कंपनीज पेज, आई वुड सी हु ऑल आर वर्किंग देयर पीपल में, एंड आई वुड सेंड अ कनेक्शन रिक्वेस्ट टू 30-40 पीपल. उसमें से just send it, don't like I wasn't sending any with message, yeah, just send it, उससे buttons click करना. So I would do that. ठीक है, उसमें से सपोज 40 लोगों को भेज दिया मैंने अभी 5 मिनट में, ठीक है, उसमें से एटलीस्ट 10 लोग एक्सेप्ट कर लेंगे, 5 लोग एक्सेप्ट कर लेंगे, ठीक है, उसमें से I would send the referral message to all of them after they've accepted my request, and at least, like, even if one person agrees to refer you, that's more than enough, right, for one job, right? But I was reaching out to at least two or three people for one single role की with a referral request. उसमें से अगर एक ने भी agree कर लिया कि हाँ ठीक है मैं refer कर दूंगी, so that is more than enough for me, right? I just need one referral. So, and how you write your referral message is also important. Like people also like reach out to me asking for referrals, and some of them are really like, yeah. And I've made a post about this, how you should ask for referrals on LinkedIn. It did, yeah, it did. So like just introduce yourself, tell me what you do, and फिर उसके बाद something like, "Hi, my name is Sanjana. I'm a master student at Stevens, and I came across a job role at this company, and I know that you're working there. I wanted to ask if you'd be, willing to refer me for this role. I would be really grateful." Things like that. Just be on point, on point message likho. Yeah, yeah, but also be a little humble. Like, no one owes you anything. Okay? Like, this person will be doing you a favor if they decide to. And yeah, just send them your resume. उसी में job link वगैरह भी attach कर दो, job ID attach कर दो. Yeah, I think that should be good enough.
Damn, that is so true. Even I get a lot of messages that, hey, can you refer me and all that. But it's very bare basic message like, hey, hi, hello. Come on, like, why would I be interested in opening that chat if I don't see any value in that message? So you need to be very clear and concise as mentioned in the video. But one more thing is the conversion rate of you getting an interview through referral is higher compared to you applying and going to the link and making that process. So try to send connections. I know that there is this ick in the brain that why would anyone refer me? Should I even send this text or not? Don't overthink it. As Sanjana said, just send a message, keep it very clear and concise. I had the same problem, but then every single morning what I did was I used to send like random cold DMs, one DM at least every single morning. That got me into rooms with really good founders and everything. So yeah, just do it, don't overthink it, just hit send. The least the answer is no, but if you don't send it, the answer will always be no. At least when you send it, the answer might be yes or no, like there are 50-50 chances. So yeah, play in the game of probability. With that said, let's move to step number 5. Now you have the interview schedule, how to strategically prepare for one.
Firstly, जो उनका product है, Azure at OpenShift, I tried learning that. There was a course that I found OpenShift पे, so I did that course. So I was able to talk about it during the interview. I was able to say कि हाँ मैंने ये पढ़ा है, and I'm very much willing to learn more about it. You know, especially I think for new grads, it's like you should show कि you are willing to learn and you are already doing things to for जिससे तुम like जिससे you'll be successful in this role basically. Like I told them, I'm already preparing for the AWS exam. Um, I don't remember which one, but I told them that I'm already preparing for. Yeah, so I told them that I'm already preparing for that, and then I explained the Kubernetes architecture to them, so that they really liked. And I got some like very basic questions related to Python, Java, why Python is not used in front end development, things like that. Um, and what I did was I also like um, wrote down how I would explain a particular project or particular technology in my resume. For example, अगर मैंने mention किया है कि मैंने Selenium use किया है, for example, अपने resume में, तो I was creating stories around it कि ये मैंने कहाँ use किया है और कैसे use किया है, and how you know that will be useful here as well. Uh, so basically, how I've used this technology, and I think like I've used the technologies that you need, like that you've mentioned in your job description. I've used those and how I've utilized those skills. तो वैसे वैसे आंसर्स फ्रेम किए, स्टोरीज क्रिएट की कि कब यूज किया, कैसे यूज किया. You can like use ChatGPT for that. That's completely fine if you want to frame that answer. But I told them कि मैंने internship के टाइम पे या मेरे projects के टाइम पे कॉलेज में ये सब यूज किया था. Um, so that's how like I was able to explain things in the interview.
So yeah, that's pretty solid point. Put yourself in terms of a company founder. If you are interviewing me, for example, and if I have done my research, I know what technology you are using, I just talk you through the technologies, the loopholes and everything in your interview, wouldn't you be happy with my interview, or would you prefer someone who just knows all the technical stuff and which is not even relevant to you? Correct. So what you need to do is just go on the company page, see or make connections with the people who are there working in the company, and you can just say, hey, I got an interview for this particular role, just wanted to know what technologies are you working on right now and what issues are you facing right now, so that I can well prepare myself, well do a really good research in the interview, and then I can put out the best of myself in the interview. And you know what, like most of the big companies or even like small mid-sized companies would have a hiring manager who will be in touch with you in the every aspect of the interview process. So you can ask these type of question to them as well. You can also ask, are there any preparation materials, do you have any guidelines or something which I can just look on and then learn about it and know things. Most of the times they do have it, so go through the documentation. Like for example, I was applying to this role in a fan company. You guess now which company it was and let me know in the comments. But anyways, I was applying to this fan company and they had a complete interview guide and they had all topics which I need to focus on, what should be the learning process and everything. And me just going and learning that was very impressive to the hiring manager, that they, you know, at least got me to the interviews. Well, spoiler alert, I didn't get through the interviews because there were like 5 and that was back then. I didn't have the skills, but now maybe I can try. Anyways, that's not the point. Finally, let's move to the step number 6, which is continuously learning and how to learn effectively.
I think rather than like just watching the YouTube video, I would suggest doing it on your own. Like just fail at it. It's fine. Fail in the beginning. Just that way you learn better. I think. Don't just watch videos and get into tutorial hell. But you can like learn a topic and then try doing it on your own. Try coding on your own using online compilers or whatever. Learn data structures in the beginning. Learn how it is how all the data structures are implemented, and then do some projects. Like YouTube पे भी देख के you can do some projects in the beginning. How they are doing, how they are writing the code, and how everything works. Then you can start with data structures and algorithms, and then read code. One thing I would suggest is create a portfolio website. My interviewers were really impressed with the portfolio website that I created. There are like a lot of videos on YouTube on how to create a portfolio website, like showcase your projects, put some links to your projects in the website, and then yeah, this way you are making it easier for the interviewer to hire you. They are able to see कि तुमने क्या काम किया है, what you are capable of.
I can completely agree to this point, which is basically, see, if you don't do a project, if you just go to a tutorial and then start doing it, it's good initially if you are doing a project by watching YouTube tutorials and all that, because maybe you don't have the skills and you're just, you know, learning and doing it. That's fine for the first project. Because you don't have the knowledge and you're following a tutorial, that's cool. That's passive learning is what I feel, because the real challenges is when taking a project like real life project, you don't have a tutorial about it, so you need to go research about the bug you're facing, the research about the issue you're facing. And companies love your attitude when in the interview, if you showcase that skill, then they will appreciate it more, that okay, this guy doesn't know anything, like he might not have the technical knowledge, but he is willing to learn and he knows how to and where to look for that knowledge and how to fix that particular problem at hand. So that comes when you start doing projects on your own, and then when you hit like rock bottom, then you go to the tutorials and Google or ChatGPT, Claude, whatever, and then you research about it. Plus Perplexity is a great tool. Research about it and then come back and implement that, fail and do that, because I feel failure is the best learning you can ever have. So don't go in the tutorial hell, because you might have observed it yourself. You start the course, you end the course, but at the end of the course you only know what is there in the course. That's it. It's good to just lay the foundations, but not great to solidify it. So yeah, and that's it. These are the 6 steps which you can implement in any direction, like whether you are doing a career transition, whether you want to do a career switch, or whatever your plan is. These are the fundamental steps and which have helped me as well as her. So why not try it? Let me know how you like this format of the videos. so I can keep making more. And final thing, remember that there are opportunities out there and you can get them. Just believe in yourself, stay persistent, and never stop learning. I hope this video has provided enough value in your career insights and switching process. If you have any questions, please feel free to drop them in the comment sections below. And additionally, what you can do is you can book a one-on-one call with me. The link is again in the description. And if you want to see the complete podcast between me and Sanjana, then you can click on this video here. And that's it.